Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, Madonna has finally gotten there. She's finally gotten the 50th place on the Billboard Dance Club Song Chart. So we knew this was coming. Obviously, she got to 49 a little while ago, and I Don't Search, I Don't Find, which I wasn't expecting to be the next single, was poised to be the next number one. There was really no doubt that it wouldn't go to number one. I mean, you know. So we've just sort of been waiting for it to crawl up the charts, and Billboard has announced that it will be number one on the chart dated the 19th of February, which will actually be on there next week. So technically it's not number one yet this week, but next week it'll be number one on the chart next week. So it's interesting. I've always been a bit curious about what the chart was because it's not based on sales, so I always sort of felt like it didn't really count much. But they've got a little bit of information on Billboard talking about it. They said the Dance Club Songs chart, which measures reports submitted by a national sample of club DJs and which launched as a national survey in the Billboard issue dated August 28, 1976. Madonna outpaces runners-up Rihanna. She's got 33, Beyonce and Janet Jackson, who have 22 and 20. So she's got a lot more number ones than anyone else, by quite a bit. Rihanna's only up to 33, so she's got a good 17 over her. And Beyonce and Janet, I'm surprised Janet hasn't had more. But it's interesting. She's the first act to have scored at least one number one on the Dance Club Songs chart in 5 separate decades, having tailed 9 in the 1980s, 13 in the 1990s, 18 in the 2000s, 9 in the 10s, and now 1 so far in the 20s. The 20s. We're 2 months into the 20s. It just sounds funny to hear that. She's the first act to ever score as many as 50 number ones on any single chart, extending it past this country guy called George Strait, who had 44 on the country charts. Search is the 4th dance club song from Madonna from Madam X, so it's not like she slowed down. Pretty much every album she releases has a group of singles, and they usually get a few number ones. I think she's had a streak from Give Me All Your Loving in 2012 through to now, so it's 8 years of straight number ones on the dance floor charts. Yep, so 10th consecutive dance club song chart. Her longest streak, she had another one of 7 before. So she's had a few that haven't gotten to number one. So she's obviously released more than 50. And that's really it. There was just a little bit of information in the article from Billboard. They actually list all 50 songs, which I'm not going to go through, but it's kind of curious to see which ones. Because occasionally you'll get a song that'll get a remix, and it's not really a dance song, but it gets a remix that's really good and is popular, so it's interesting. But I'm glad to just have some good news that Madonna has reached another milestone, 50th position, number one position on a chart, her longest stretch on that chart. She's the longest person to have number ones on any chart in 5 consecutive decades. And the only thing is, this is not a chart based on sales, it's a survey. It shows who's playing the songs and who's listening to the songs, as opposed to who's buying the songs or viewing the videos or whatever they use to actually measure. And that's the thing now. The way things are measured with charts, it's so... it's not as simple as it used to be, where someone bought a record, it counted as a sale. Now a view, a click, a stream, blah, 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 blah. I think it's been diluted quite a bit, but at least this chart has remained unchanged from 1976. It's based on people reporting in what they're playing and what people are listening to. So there's really no doubt that on that level, her popularity, at least on the dance charts, on the dance floors, has not changed in 40 years. So that's good. It's nice to have something good to comment on. There's been some weird stuff lately. The London shows haven't totally sold out. possibly because of all the bad press with all the cancellations. So they've put out some marketing, so a little bit of a press push to try and sell the last few tickets, and they're actually just saying Madonna, 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 not saying Madame X. It doesn't mention the name of the concert or the tour anywhere, it just mentions her. So it's almost, after the Bird of Prey's rebranding, renaming, it's almost like they're trying to rebrand Madame X as Madonna, because Madame X isn't probably as popular as Madonna. So, I mean, I'm having that feeling. I'm feeling like I feel like Madame X has like kidnapped Madonna and has got her like tied up in a basement somewhere, and I'm just waiting for her to finish her tour and let Madonna out so she can go back to performing and doing another Madonna era. So I'm glad she got another number one. It's a positive thing, because there's nothing else positive happening at the moment. She's limping through the last few weeks of the concert because she's dealing with the injury, and she's a bit cranky. I think I mean, I watched the full video on the curtain dropping incident, and hearing her go on and on about censorship, motherfuckers, I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not censorship. They dropped the curtain because you were late, because the club had to close. Like, you were told to finish, you didn't, so they finished you. It's nothing to do with censorship. It's if you had ran on time, your show could have finished and you could have said whatever you wanted, shown whatever you wanted, and her whole artist here to disturb the peace. I get that, but it undermines that philosophy or that idea when you use it just to sort of protest being late and someone dropping a curtain because you're running late. So I watched that like a few hours ago, and I just sort of thought, really, it wasn't. I thought it would have. Yeah. So there hasn't been much good lately, and I'm just wondering what her next phase is going to be, what her next step is going to be. I've heard she did the tour to make money for the movie she wants to make. So will she make a movie after this? I don't know. Does she have a contract? I can't believe she would let her current contract lapse without having another one in place. So I just wish someone would say something about it. I haven't heard anyone talk about it, and I don't have any inside insight, so I don't know what's happening, but I would like to know what her next step is. And I hope she doesn't retire or go into semi-retirement, but I also don't want her to do another tour like this where she tries to take on too much, and when it starts to go wrong, instead of admitting it, changing dates, rescheduling the tour, postponing the tour, just pushing through and just trying to just make it happen through her sheer will, which has always worked in the past, but her body can't necessarily keep up. So she's going to have to take things a bit more careful. People are saying, oh, she'll do another arena tour, she'll come back bigger than ever, and I'm like, I'm not sure anyone is going to give her the funding or the insurance to take on an expensive arena tour when she had so much trouble on this tour. It's going to, people are going to use it against her and say, oh, she's too old to tour now, and not count it as an injury. And I do believe it's an injury. Some people are saying, oh, she's just too old. So with all that going on, I'm just glad to have something else to focus on for a minute. But even then, I still am thinking about all the other stuff. But yeah, I'm glad she's got another number one, 50th number one. It's a record. It's an interesting chart. Like I said, it's based on reports coming in and information. It hasn't changed. It's not like all the other charts which have changed, and some of them don't. I feel like they don't count anymore. This one at least has been consistent and shows that she and her popularity has been consistent, and her danceability has been consistent. So I'm just glad to do a video about that. And I didn't mean to go off on about the other stuff, but I kind of want to make another video about a couple of those little things, but they weren't really quite worth it, and I just thought I'd just add them in there, that they were removing the Madame X name from the sales with some of the press they're putting out to try and push for the last few tickets being sold. And there was a rumour also that she'd cancelled the last show on March 11, but they're saying it's not true. There was a mistake. Someone put out an email by mistake with that date, and she hasn't cancelled it. But a lot of people got a scare because they got an email or something saying that the March 11 date was cancelled. So Madame X, and especially the Madame X tour, has just been one sort of problem after another, and I'm just glad at least we have that chart. But I'm just wondering, is she ever going to have another number one or a charting song again? The last song she had that charted was "Bitch I'm Madonna," and that was pushed through by videos from YouTube. So I'm just wondering, how is she going to make money if she can't tour because this injury is like something that's going to linger and be a long-term problem, or insurance-wise they don't believe she'll be able to do it because they think this is because she's too old, not because she's injured. How's she going to make money if she can't sell records and she can't tour? Because when records stop selling, she just toured more. But if she can't do that, what's she going to do? If she can't get a big contract because she can't sell, I'm just wondering, where is she going to make money? If she's not making money through films, she get paid a fairly basic director's fee, unless she gets a percentage and has a hit. I mean, she's got her gym, she's got her makeup, she's got those other things which I understand why she went into. But I'm curious now what the next step is going to be and how the future is going to look. So I'm just going to leave it there. I rambled on about other things, more than just the dance chart, but they're on my mind as well. They didn't deserve their own video. So I'm going to go. It's late. It's hot. I have to go watch Star Trek Picard, which I've been putting off all day because I've heard from the 4th episode it gets bad. But I'm going to go torture myself with that, and I'll see you guys next time something happens in Madonna land. Thanks. Feel free to share, like, comment. Let me know what you think. Comments are fun. Thanks. Bye.